Here inside the ESPN NBA studios, Kevin Connors, former long-distance shootout champ Tim Legler. Well, they may be the two best teams in the Eastern Conference, the Celtics and the Heat. Legs, they played in Game 1 this season. Celtics won that game in Boston. How did they do it?
Well, really, it came down to a team in Miami that didn't have Dwayne Wade for the entire preseason. You go up against an elite defensive team in the NBA with very little offensive rhythm in that game. They had a 9-point first quarter. Boston really set the tone defensively, and Miami never got untracked with any sort of rhythm whatsoever. I thought it was far too much isolation basketball. You're not going to beat a team like Boston going one-on-one. You're going to have to move the basketball, change sides of the floor with it, and get some transition baskets. None of those things happened in that game. Boston really controlled it. They controlled the paint. Their front line was huge. Shaq, Glenn Davis, Garnett, all of those guys played well. So you name it, it was like a perfect storm for the Heat that they went up against in that first game. But despite that, they only lost by 8.
There were some things that were exposed in Miami's last game against the Utah Jazz. Boston's going to watch tape of that game. How do you see things playing out in this matchup on Thursday night?
Well, right now, Miami's got a glaring hole with their team, and it's something they're going to have to figure out, and that is they don't have any size or presence up front, and they don't protect the paint very well as a result. When you take a look at the Utah Jazz, scored 32 points in the first half of that game. They come back with 72 in the second half because they just decided to attack. Deron Williams getting into the lane, Millsap, offensive rebounds, you name it. The games that the Heat have lost this year, it's been a recurring theme. The same thing happened to the New Orleans Hornets. And Miami themselves last in the league in points in the paint offensively. Maybe too many jump shots, not getting to the foul line enough, not attacking enough offensively, getting complacent at times because of how good they can be offensively when they're in rhythm. Problem for them, they don't have a way to get the rebound. They don't have a deterrent inside with size, and that's a problem when you go up against big front lines, and certainly the Celtics have that. They're going to try to exploit that by getting all of their big bodies and all that depth at the 4 and 5 position in the game, use up fouls, and try to manhandle the Heat inside.
Shaq's been banged up. We'll see if he's able to go. Jermaine O'Neal missed the second half of the Celtics' most recent game. We'll see if he's able to go. Titans in the Eastern Conference going at it on Thursday. For all things Boston sports, it's ESPNBoston.com. For Tim Legler, I'm Kevin Connors.